Thank you for coming back and watching our amazing episodes. This is Final Cut Friday. This is Will from the Think Different podcast. And I want to appreciate all the feedback I've been getting for these videos, and I want to keep moving forward. Right now, our focus point right now will be this area right here. We're just going to talk about this because this area is extremely important because we need to know how we can look at all of our footage. In the last video, I talked about how to import video, and if you are subscribing to our channel, you'll be able to get all the previous episodes. But if you can see, I brought more footage in since the last time, so I wanted to let you know that I have added more footage from this event just to have all the footage here. That way we can together go through this and make it easy to see everything in one whole event. Let's talk about the top row right here. So the goal of this part right here is just what you want to see in this section. What do you want to see? Do you want to see all the clips? Do you want to hide the ones that you don't like? Do you want to see the ones with no ratings, no keywords, favorites, rejected? So I'm going to do a couple of these different ones right here. So for example, like this clip right here, if I decided I do not want this clip, I'm just going to hit the delete key and it goes away. Now, it does not delete it from the machine. It just deletes it from the view. It's actually still physically in this library. If I go to a different section called rejected, which there is a shortcut in case you want to know what that is, rejected, now I'm seeing just the rejected clips, the ones I don't believe I'm ever going to use. What's great about Final Cut is it will not delete it from the library. I think it's just great to hide it. Let's go back to hide rejected, and now again we're seeing all the footage except for that one rejected. If I click on this clip and say, you know what, I like this, I'm going to just hit F on the keyboard. F is going to be your best friend. You can notice a green bar appear on the top here. I'm just going to hit U to unfavorite that, and I'm going to hit F to favorite it. That's the quickest way. There are ways to do this from up here, but trust me, you will not need them. Just remember that U is to unfavorite something, and F on the keyboard, just F by itself, no command, will favorite it. And if I now switch and I go to favorites, here's just the favorite clips. So you can see how you can break this down. And we're going to talk about how to select favorites in just parts of the clip. I just want to show you everything just to get an idea. And then keywords. So right now we have not messed with keywords, but I'm going to take a clip. This is the Sweet 16 girl. So I'm going to make this clip as a way to organize here in the event. So this button right here is the keyword editor. Now Command K is the fast way to launch it. So if I hit Command K, it brings up this small window right here. And this window is a keyword I could use to organize the clip. So for example, I'm going to say Sweet 16 girl. And I'm going to hit return. And now if you look to the left, there is a section just of that. So that makes it a great way to organize. And I'm not really even talking about organizing yet. I really just want to show you this. But if I go to say no ratings or keywords, so for whatever reason, if you don't want to see the ones that you've rated or keyword, it will remove those from this section. If you want to see just the favorites, the rejected, and then the unused. So in unused, I would have to have something inside this timeline. But what's great for unused is if there are clips that were not used inside of your edit, and maybe you want to look at them, this is a great way just to do that. Now, obviously, right now, they're all there because I have not made an edit yet, but that's just an example of seeing it. Then, of course, I could say all clips, and now everything is back in here, including rejected. Typically, hide rejected is where I stick with most of the time, but I will switch to favorites as well when I just want to see my favorite stuff. And I do switch between the two. And, of course, you can see that the shortcuts are right here for that, so I can go to Control H. So it's good to know that the symbol means what they do is a Control Delete, and then you can do Control H, and that's what I like to say is Control H. As you can see, they make it kind of easy to know what section goes with what. U is for unused, F is for favorites. You can't do it with everything, but you could also customize these and change it, by the way. Next up is this symbol right here. So this is a way to toggle between two different views, the film strip and the list. So if I click it, you'll notice the changes that have been made. I'm seeing this almost like a Finder window. It's like a Finder look. But you can see a lot of information about the file that was not there here. all I see is just the clip, no details about it. There's no, I don't know when the time was. I mean, I could definitely, there are ways to see that, but I'm not seeing that right now. And if I go over here and switch it, now it's in list view. So there's times where you're going to want to go through this area. Personally, I stick with this view a little more than I do with the list view. I will switch in between. Why would I do that? Well, sometimes this clip might be too small to select footage. So when I go up here, it shows me the whole clip in a wider format, and that way I can select like more detail. Because if I go in this view and I try to do it, it's not going to be as easy to do, and I also won't know. Plus, also, if you noticed, when I click and drag, that's something I could do here, but when I go here, I can't. It's not letting me. It's actually doing more weird things, and that's where you're going to be learning shortcuts in a minute about how to choose footage within a clip. So you'll switch between these two. You'll see everything in here. It's just really just comes down to what you like. But most of the time you're going to switch in between them. And then this is a section for the appearance and filtering. So why would you use this? Well, for an example, in this view, right now, this area just shows us thumbnail size. And as I drag, I'll see more in the frame, which is great. I want to see more things or I want to see less. So you can drag it up and down. If you go here, you're changing how long this thumbnail is. So right now it says up to 10 seconds is what I'm showing. If I go to a clip that's longer than 10 seconds, you will see a difference. Look at the difference in the length, and that is because of this symbol right here. But if I drag it to the right, now it's 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Look how much more detail I get switching to this view. But if I go backwards, say like 5 minutes, well, now everything almost looks like it's the same. There's really almost like no difference between them. So it's very important to decide how long, this is all based on the clip length. This will change throughout the time that you're using it. It's really up to you what you like. Toggle around, see what this is. Group by, so right now everything's grouped by content created. That's the order that it's in. But if I had by camera name, or I had by reel, or date imported, there are different dates. Now, for example, I brought some footage in later on. I didn't do it on the same day. So there's a difference now between, if I actually go to here, you'll see a difference between the clips, because there was footage I brought in on the 26th and then footage I brought in on the 28th. So there's a difference between the two. So that's why it's important to know that if you wanted to decide on the grouping of it, that's why you would use it. Going back to this view, I'm going to say sort by, and then I can sort by name of the file. Take, if you have added that information. Ascending, descending, so if you want to go like the last thing that was shot to the first thing that was shot, you could do that, if you're, depending on the order that you want. Now this toggle is only really going to be good for this view. If I switch to list, you'll notice that some things are gone. That includes the timing, that includes the thumbnail, because the time, everything's up here in one clip. So you will not see everything. In this area will not be organized. So just something to think about when you're doing it. And like, I really don't mess with the group by or the sort by too much. Next up, waveforms. So waveforms is if you want to see the audio in the thumbnail. If you do, you leave it on. If you don't, take it off. So it really just comes down to you. That's a personal preference. I personally use the waveforms because most of the footage I work with, I need to see the audio. But if I don't need to see it, I can always go to the waveform and uncheck it. And then in this view, you won't see, if I go here and I uncheck the waveforms, I won't see anything. And you get a little more footage back, but I typically like to leave that on. And finally, we have continuous playback. Continuous playback, I'm going to show you the difference without even telling you. So let's go ahead and play some footage.
2, 1 more, 1, 2, good.
And it stopped. If I turn on, watch what happens now.
4, 1, 2, good. 1.
It goes to the next clip.
1 more.
That is continuous playback. I personally don't use continuous playback. I'm not usually going from clip to clip. This would be great if you're trying to compare the same shot, maybe over and over and going from one to the other, but I personally don't use that. So, up to you what you want to do. Finally, the last thing we're going to talk about in this section of Final Cut Fridays is the search field. This is kind of obvious what this is for. You're just searching for something. So if I wanted to look for only clips with the word 100 in it, and there's the clip that only shows 100 in it. Or if I go to a clip that shows just the A7S, because that's the name of my clips, I just see those clips. In fact, there's an audio file in here that right now is not showing up. So if I type in the word Jonas, it's only showing Jonas. So that is what this is for. It's simply a way just to search around for it. But when I open the search field, you'll notice that this button pops up, and it's called a filter. We're going to talk about that in the next video. What a teaser. Please subscribe to our channel, guys, and I cannot wait to go into depth. Next video, we are going to talk about how a smart collection works and a keyword. It's very exciting stuff.